Good day. Welcome to the Talk It Out podcast. My name is Neal Bailey-Harper, and today I'm back with The Long Game. The music I'm listening to in the 70s, if you heard this song, I went to school in North Carolina, and every time this song came on, we all stood up. We meaning the all-black college I went to. Well, mostly all black. The group is Earth, Wind, and Fire. The song is That's the Way of the World. And for some reason, we looked at this as much as Lift Every Voice and Sing as our modern day, in 75, our modern day national anthem. And it was a connection that we all shared, and it was kind of cool, and we liked it. And we were thoughtful young people, and we were progressive young people. But you know the one thing that I don't remember doing that much? Was voting. I mean, we had some real good debates, in each other's apartments or in the dorm rooms or all around the yard. But I don't remember election day. I remember it a little, but not to where I'm sure I went every time and voted. And I was in college. Now, again, I don't remember if I was even eligible to vote in North Carolina. I know I was probably eligible to vote in the national elections, but even then I don't remember voting. And that was a real socially conscious time where we were in the streets. We were doing a lot of stuff. We were protesting things, and we were challenging authority, and we were doing this and that. And I'm sure a lot of us, the majority of us my age, voted. But I just don't remember doing it. But that was then. This is now. And I wanted to talk to people in my generation, or almost in my generation, because now we have the young adult children. And I'm going to go back to something that our parents probably told us that we laughed at and really didn't tell our kids. Remember, they used to say sometimes, do as I say, but not as I do. That was a way to tell us, mind your own business and get out the room. Stuff like that. But because you didn't ask anything after that, you did exactly what they said. That was that time. But I never felt comfortable telling that to my kids most of the time. 90% of the time I wouldn't tell that to them, depending on their age and how they grew up. But with voting, yeah, I don't care. Do as I say and not as I did. Because this is a different time. Just like we had a lot of things that they didn't have, just a natural progression of time, how we evolve as a society, as we evolve as a people. And I remember being on campus at homecoming last year and looking around and seeing the gazebo in the middle of campus and all the people and all the social media. We were like, me and some people were like, damn, what if we had this back in the 70s? Yeah, we didn't. And we didn't need it. But if we had it, we'd have been just like it is today. We'd have used it, got used to it, learned how to use it so it didn't use us. But again, I had we had a family gathering about 2-3 years ago, and this thought sticks in my head. It was a gentleman I just met, and on the other side of the family out of Ohio, and he was in our house, and we were in the yard, we were talking. He had a 21-year-old son. I had at that time, maybe a 21 and a 19-year-old, and he said that, him and his son had just really started talking again because they had some conflict, which, if you're being a father, it's natural with your kids, especially with boys. And we were talking about he was upset at his son because he hadn't made decisions on life yet. And I said, well, I kind of understand that because you want them to go to this, you want them to do the things that you think worked for you. But I remember this thing he told me. He said, you know what? I didn't know what I wanted to do at 21 or 22. Did you? And I was like, I thought about it. No, I didn't. And we put pressure on our children because that pressure was put on us. Some things you break the cycles on. That's one of them. But today, with everything that's going on today, I challenge people of my generation. And it's not easy, trust me. Me and my guys, we'll sit up, we can spend all night, 3 o'clock in the morning, talking about LeBron and Magic Johnson and basketball and football and politics. We talk it out. We talk about it. It never gets settled a lot of times, but we do talk about it. It's a spirited conversation, and I love that part of our relationship. But I want them to vote. Because again, as a parent, I remember certain things you would tell your children, and I would get frustrated because I would expect them to act on it the next day. But all you can do is provide the information. If they listen, they use it when they need to. It clicks in when it clicks in. This is also Earth, Wind, and Fire. I love this song. Can't let go. And people of my generation, I do not want you to let go of pursuing your children to vote. A lot of us don't do that. That's fine. A lot of your kids vote. A lot of us are in politics, so your kids will probably go along with you. And it's just because what's going on right now is more about them than it is about us. Kavanaugh they're going to make adjustments to Roe v. Wade. So for every woman in this country, there's going to be some old white men deciding on what to do, what you should do with your body. I'm not getting into the religious implications of anything. I'm just talking about it's my body. Somebody else is going to make a decision on what you can and can't do with that. You know what? I understand and I respect the frustrations that youth have, and they are right. You look at this shit going on in D.C., all the people are doing is talking back and forth with each other, then they go out to dinner and spend our money. And they get very little solved. But it's the system. And what we learned is that getting frustrated with the system does not mean you don't take part in it. And they say, well, it's not going to get any better or my vote doesn't count. Well, if 2 million of you say that, it does. As much as you can find any information you want today, you can find out about who's running, how they're running, and what they're doing and what they're not doing, because it affects you directly. I'm talking to the youth. It affects you. It affects me. I will say, people of my generation have fucked this thing up. We really have. But you don't make it better by going around it. And to that point, there have been more people of minority backgrounds and more women than ever before that are running for public office. It's a 27-year-old mayor in Georgia. So there are more people running for office because if you feel like it is, you can fix it, or you can try to help fix it. The other thing too, voting on a Tuesday. Back in 1845, farmers took one day to get to the voting places that they had to go to. That's why we vote on Tuesday. 1845. Shout out to Blue Pilot Brewery for giving everybody in his workforce the day off to vote. Voting should be a national holiday. It should be Sunday. It should be a national holiday. So, you want to give your employees back $1,000, Amazon, all of that? Give them the day off to vote. That'll make it easier for everybody. Voting is a right. It should be a national holiday and a privilege. Talk to yours. I'm going to get mine again. Love you. Have a good day.